After 31 years, we finally have a monitor stand. That is something that we've needed for this computer ever since my dad bought it in 1990. Unfortunately, I looked high, I looked low, I looked west, I looked east. I could not find the actual Tandy monitor stand that Radio Shack offered for sale with these machines. But the dimensions, I imagine, are similar to what I've got here. Now this is made, I made this in my basement out of solid oak. And it wasn't cheap. It wasn't that expensive, but it wasn't cheap. I think the wood board, how big was this? I think it was 12 by 4. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was around 20 bucks. And then I bought a square, I think it's a 2 by 2 by 2 by 4, I think. That was like 10 bucks. I'm all in, I'm probably about $40 into this. And then I put a golden oak stain onto it, and then I sprayed it with lacquer, clear lacquer. I love lacquer because it looks so nice on oil finishes. And it goes on so smooth. It's just crazy. Very smooth. Very, very glossy. I love it. Okay. Enough of that. If my father had purchased a printer with this computer when he bought it in 1990, this is what he would have gone home with. This is the DMP-133. Take a good look at it. I bought this on eBay, and in full disclosure, it was $100 for the printer. And it looks like it was very lightly used. And it almost makes sense because let's see. When this printer was manufactured, these are kind of going out. They were going out of style. And it's no surprise to me that this thing might have seen maybe 2 or 3 years of occasional use. So let's go ahead and unpack it. So this printer's probably been in this box for much of the 90s, all of the 2000s, and it's even got a ribbon. Oh, nice. Got a ribbon. I figured out who made these. I believe it was Shinetsu, if I'm not mistaken, who made this printer. I'm going to confirm that real quick. I think I knew it was an S word that was Japanese sounding. It's Seikosha. Seikosha is who made this printer. And never heard of Seikosha. I'm sure they make terrific products. Okay. Let's see what we got. We got a ribbon, we got the cover, and looks pretty clean in there. This is a very low cost printer. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But this is definitely a consumer class printer. The Tandy 1000 card edge cable actually came with this. So that's a nice, how do you do it? And that plugs in with the standard parallel port on the printer. So the round barrel connector on the back is, I'm not really sure what that's for. It could be a TRS-80 maybe. I don't really know. So I don't want to speculate and then get roasted in the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and put this ribbon in place. Seikosha. Here's your... Alright, let me go ahead and put it on the table so we can play with it. Alright, we got the new printer all set up here. And, you know, I just want to take a moment to say that I am very, very, very fortunate here. I managed to find a monitor that is like new, looks like new, operates like a brand new monitor. And I found this printer in the original box. It is used, but very lightly used. It is your typical dot matrix printer. The quality seems to be reasonable. We haven't done a test page yet. I haven't crossed that bridge. But I wanted to go over a couple of things. So let me open up the. So to open up the front cover, you have to lift this paper guide out of the way. There we are. Ribbon pops in just like every other dot matrix printer. It is a 9-pin model for sure, and you can tell by the number of wires. There are only, I believe I counted 10 or 11 wire contacts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Is that 11? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 wires there. So 11 contacts is not enough for a 24-pin. That big one in the middle, that's going to be your common ground, I believe. I don't know what the others are for. Maybe there's a temperature sensor in there, perhaps. Or a... that could be where the switch is for carriage end. It could be built into there somehow. A little bit of fluff on that guy. There's probably a micro switch in here somewhere that it triggers whenever it reaches the... Oh, it's this guy right here. There's your carriage end. So that is where it stops. Oh, power's on. Turn the power off. There we go. Yeah, that frees it up a little bit. Hear that switch? So I don't know why there's more than 10 contacts, but hey, whatever. The dip switch panel is right here. This is for... This used to be a thing that you had to do when you bought a new printer. You'd have to set the printer's dip switches for the specific needs that you have. Some of them have more than one switch block. Fortunately, this one has all the dip switch settings on this label. So I have it right now. It's at its factory default settings for Tandy. I may have to change those. But unfortunately, I have not only the owner's manual, but I also have the technical reference manual, which tells me everything I'd ever want to know about this printer. I have never seen a printer from this manufacturer before. This is a first. Tandy didn't make printers. They contract manufactured all of their printers. In fact, Apple did the same thing. Apple, back in the day, they used C-Ito for their dot matrix printers, and they used Canon for their inkjet printers. There we go. It's a little difficult. I actually have 2 brand new ribbons on order for this thing. I also have some ribbons on order for the printer that's down on my other machine, my Tandy DMP-250. So over here you've got your head position selector, and there's a little mark here that shows you where the default should be. So we're going to leave it right there. Loading paper is just like any other dot matrix. It can be fed a single sheet by taking this back cover and flipping it upside down and dropping it into this slot here. But again, there is no multi-sheet feeder on this printer. It's just for single sheets of plain paper. Now, thinking back in the day, they would be using that for, say, resume paper. Because nothing says hire me like a printout from a 9-pin printer. Just kidding. Now, this is a sudden, surprising piece of quality kit right here. This bar here has a nice action to it. Very smooth, very nice. I would probably rank the quality of this printer probably to the Citizen level. It really does. It feels like a Citizen printer for some reason, even though it's not. The pitch select, here's how you do it. Here's how you do pitch select on this printer. Now, I don't know if it survives a power cycle or not. I don't know that. I don't know whether it does or not. What I can tell you is that, is this thing on right? It goes on like that. Yeah. I'm going to push that forward a little bit. So what you do is you hold down the select key with the power on and press either form feed or line feed. Now these become control buttons, left or right, and the head becomes the selector. So this is, I don't know what code is, but 10 characters per inch, 12 characters per inch, condensed 17 characters per inch, microfont 17 characters per inch, proportional, and margin. I believe that's margin select. So yeah, it's kind of neat. That's using the noggin there. I don't know why I said that, but okay. All right, let's run a test page from Tandy DeskMate. I'm going to load up a sample file. Now, this is historic. I'm getting this on camera for the first time this has ever been done. This computer, which I have owned for 31 years, has never, ever sent anything to a printer. It has never printed in 31 years. You are going to see it for the first time right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and load the text editor. I'm going to load the resume. There's a resume in here. I haven't even seen that yet. Let's see if we can get that up here. This is the first time this machine has ever printed. None of those ports in the back have ever been used. Okay, so here we have a resume for a John Doe, born December 19th of 1958. Let's take a look at what qualifications. Anytown, Iowa. Good place. Seeking employment as supervisor in inbound, outbound telemarketing field. Oh my. Who would want that? Wyman University, Newman, Texas. Okay, graduated 1976. Boomer! November 1985 to present. Acme Telemarketing, Dayton, Iowa. Yeah. He worked for Global Airlines Telemarketing Division. Well, all right. You know what? I think we're going to hire him. Okay. F2. Oh, man, I got goosebumps. First time ever printing from this computer. Printer, IBM Graphic. We may have to change those dip switch settings to IBM. They're set to Tandy now, which means that it is emulating a Coco or color computer printer, I think. Print to printer. File name. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that ribbon's dead for sure. Yeah, that is a 9-pin, folks. I wasn't sure at first. Now I know. Now, I'm going to press the NLQ, or near letter quality, button. And we're going to see how much that changes things. References, furnished upon request. Should we hire him or not? What do you think? Okay, now let's press the NLQ button. So we're going to take it offline. Boink. Put it on NLQ. Boink. Put it back online. Boink. Okay, now let's print it again. F2 and print. So it's going to hit those. Hear it? So what it's going to do is it's going to hit those pins a wee bit harder. That ribbon's not bad at all, actually. No, it's not. It's a little alignment problem there on the Anytown, Iowa, but that could be if it gets got stuck. I'm going to shut up now. Not bad. Birth date, marital status, single, health, excellent. I don't think you can put that on a resume now. Something tells me that that's frowned upon. Healthy as a horse. Man, that takes me back. Those dot matrix printers, man. If it wasn't for these, I don't know what car dealers would use. Usually they still use these things. Okay. Interests and hobbies. Music, tennis, politics, writing, soccer. Yeah, that sign of the times, babe. Yeah, no. Not okay. Alright. Yeah, we don't want no politics. Okay. Alright, Mr. John Doe, you got the job. Let me just file your resume. Okay. Just kidding, you didn't. Well, it's another day, another dollar. So I learned a couple of things, did some research. Yeah, right. I Googled it. Seikosha is, and I should have figured this out pretty quickly. The key operative is the Seiko in Seikosha. This printer was made by Seiko, or a division of Seiko. Seikosha, as far as I understand it, was the root company, which has been split off, like most Japanese corporations, into various industries. But Seiko is actually the parent company of Epson. So there's a Seiko Epson. Well, there's no Epson in Seikosha, or something like that, but there's plenty of Seikosha in Epson. Yeah, whatever. So, trying to understand Japanese corporate structure is sometimes a little bit challenging for us ape-brained Americans. But the thing is, Seikosha, made printers for a variety of companies, including Tandy and Commodore. I've actually, and I was thinking back for a bit, and this printer kind of reminds me of the Commodore MPS 1250 I had when I was a kid. And it was very lightweight, but very stout, it was reliable. So that should come as no surprise that this printer is built very similarly to that one. The Commodore, maybe someone else can explain this, someone who's actually studied the Seiko corporate structure. So I had to go through my footage to see if I discussed the onboard menu system, which is kind of strange, a little bit ingenious actually. They saved a little bit of money by coming up with a way to display output or function output without LEDs or an LCD display. So that's kind of clever, But this printer was made at the same time that Citizen was manufacturing the higher end printers, which, interestingly enough, Citizen is also known in the United States as a watch manufacturer. So that's kind of neat, right? They make watches and printers. Let's see if I can find my freaking there it is. Personal Deskmate 2.0. What I want to do is I'm going to show you folks, for you younger viewers out there. See, nowadays, if you want to draw something and print it out, I found a little bug in this printer. Kind of like an undocumented feature, but it's a mistake. If I have the printer on, if I leave it on and I turn the computer off, is it online? It is. I turn the computer off. Watch this. The printer starts to make a series of weird noises. If I'm lucky, that's all it does. Although last night it just wouldn't stop. It kept going click 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 click. It just didn't know what to do with itself. I found that bizarre. Oh, but yeah, this printer, if you don't have a computer turned on, it won't do anything. Like, you turn the thing on and you can't put it online. The paper out light flashes. There it goes. Hear it? It just is like it's like it doesn't know what to do. And it doesn't stop. It just keeps going like that. It's the strangest thing. But as soon as you turn the computer on, it wakes up. Is it not? Maybe not. I might have to restart it. No, it just caused the computer to hang up on me. So, point is, turn the computer on first. Then turn the printer on, because it's like it doesn't know what to do. It just gets really confused really fast. So I'm going to do a form feed here. Oh yeah, look at this. It was actually firing the pins. So definitely, if you have one of these printers, you might want to heed that warning. Don't turn the printer on unless it's connected to a computer that's actually running. Alright, so now we have a drawing that we can use. I'm going to make sure I save this one. Go to File, Save. Just make sure if the thing crashes or blows the hell up, you won't have to start all over again. Okay. I'm going to go to File and Print. And here we go. My cat just perked up. He likes that sound, or doesn't know what to make of it. It doesn't sound like any animal he's ever seen. Heard. There you have it. Not bad, huh? So lifelike. And that concludes our video. In our next video, I would like to start building that board. I'm going to start looking at parts lists and piecing it out piece by piece. Anyway, so that's going to be my next plan, and then we'll hopefully get that going. So until then, I think we're done. And I'm going to now shut down. Okay. Well, that was exciting. When we got this computer, my father was so freaked out about what order to shut things down. Like I couldn't remember whether I had to have the monitor or the computer on first. And I know I've asked my dad this question many times when I was when I was a kid, and the answer changed each time because he couldn't remember. But back in the day, you were like, there was such a mystique around computers and their techiness, and there was a perceived level of fragility with these machines. Like if you turn the monitor on before you turn the computer on, it would blow up or set the house on fire or something like that. There was a lot of, like, for non-techies, computers were an intimidating object to bring into the home because there was so little known about them amongst the general population that, you know, they would freak out if you turned the computer on before the monitor and they thought you were supposed to do it. In reality, it doesn't matter. And the other thing is, like, as long as the disk isn't being written to, you can just shut the damn thing off. I mean, as long as it, you know, as long as that light's not on, you can just shut it off. These don't have hard disk drives, so there's no need to worry about whether the heads are in the right position for a startup. In fact, most of them automatically park. Most of the new later model ones would automatically park. But there is some truth to that because, you know, if it was writing to the disk and you didn't know it and you shut it off, you could cause data corruption. But if it was reading from it, not bloody likely. But yes, some earlier hard disk drives, if you shut them off while the heads were in the wrong position and they didn't have an auto park feature, you could actually damage the disk on startup. So that was real. But I just remember back in the day, like, there was such an aura of mystique around this computer in the household. Like, we didn't really understand it. In reality, it's no more powerful than, you know, a graphing calculator made today. But anyways, and here we have these suckers in our pockets, which produce noticeable levels of radiation that could potentially cause, of course that hasn't been proven, so it can cause cancer. But anyway, that's going to conclude our video. Thank you for watching.